Our 20th anniversary was supposed to be a celebration of love, a tribute to the 20 years Sarah and I had built together. I reserved a quiet little restaurant, the same one where we first met. I even ordered her favorite wine and brought along a small gift, an engraved bracelet with our wedding date. But as the evening stretched on, my phone stayed silent. Hours passed and finally, just before midnight, a message appeared on my screen. "Mark, I'm not coming home. I'm with Daniel now. He gives me more than you ever could." The words shook me. My hands trembled as I read them again and again. Daniel wasn't a stranger. He was her boss. The same man I had smiled at during her company dinners. The one who always carried that smug expression, as if he knew a secret I didn't. Now I understood why. I sat there alone at the restaurant, staring at the untouched plates, surrounded by couples laughing, clinking glasses, and toasting love. Meanwhile, my marriage had been tossed aside like it meant nothing. The betrayal was vicious, not just because she cheated, but because she chose that very night, our anniversary, to abandon me. It wasn't an accident. It was deliberate, cold, and merciless. In that moment, instead of exploding with rage or drowning in tears, something inside me hardened. My love, my loyalty, my patience, all of it evaporated. I whispered under my breath, "Then live with your choice, Sarah." What she didn't realize was that Daniel wasn't the shining savior she thought he was. Working in the same field, I had already heard whispers, rumors of shady financial practices, missing funds, questionable deals. His name was beginning to circulate in places no one wanted to be associated with. Sarah believed she was upgrading her life, trading me for wealth and power. In reality, she had tied herself to a sinking ship, and I had no intention of warning her. Why save someone who had no hesitation in destroying me? So I let her walk straight into the flames. The very next morning, while she was likely still intoxicated by Daniel's promises, reality came crashing down. Federal investigators stormed his office. Computers were seized, files confiscated, staff interrogated. The mighty Daniel, the man Sarah left me for, was dragged out of his glass office in full view of the entire company. Cameras flashed as reporters shouted questions. His expensive suit couldn't disguise the sweat dripping down his face. By noon, headlines were everywhere. CEO under investigation for fraud. Just like that, his empire collapsed in a single morning. And Sarah wasn't spared. Her name appeared in his paperwork. She had signed documents, traveled with him for business, and even approved suspicious transactions under the guise of loyalty. Whether she knew the extent of the fraud didn't matter. She was implicated. Colleagues who once admired her now mocked her downfall. By the end of the day, she was escorted out of her office carrying a small box of her belongings. The woman who boasted she had upgraded was suddenly unemployed, disgraced, and branded by scandal. That evening, as I sat at home holding the bracelet meant for her, my phone rang. It was Sarah. Her voice cracked with desperation, unlike anything I had heard before. "Mark, please. I made a mistake. I didn't know Daniel's world was collapsing. I thought he could give me stability, a better life. I was wrong. I need you." Her words poured out, dripping with panic and regret. But to me, they were empty. She didn't want me, she wanted security. She wanted the man she discarded to rescue her from the wreckage she chose. I let her finish before calmly replying, words sharper than any scream. "Sarah, you traded our marriage for him. You don't get to run back when the fantasy burns down. You wanted him. Now live with him." Her sobbing grew heavier. She begged, pleaded, promised she'd change. She told me I was the only man who ever truly loved her. But none of it mattered anymore. You can't shatter someone's heart in one night and expect tears to repair it the next. I ended the call. For the first time in years, I felt strangely at peace. I realized I had been carrying the weight of our marriage alone, while she was already halfway gone. Her betrayal set me free. I no longer owed her love, patience, or even acknowledgement. She thought she had won the grand prize, but in truth, she stepped into her own downfall. And I didn't need to lift a finger. Life delivered the justice for me. In the weeks that followed, She kept trying, emails, texts, even knocking at my door. I never let her in. The news spread quickly. Daniel bankrupt, criminal charges pending, Sarah unemployed, her reputation destroyed. She lost her career, her standing, her so-called love, and her marriage, all in one blow. And it all began on the night she believed she had traded up. The irony was almost poetic. On the day meant to celebrate 20 years together, Sarah set fire to everything we had built. She thought she was stepping into a brighter future, but all she found were ashes. Meanwhile, I walked away with my dignity intact and a new path ahead. Sometimes, the most powerful revenge isn't destroying someone yourself. It's letting them collapse under the weight of their own choices.